Turn those levels up just a touch, everybody, and welcome back. I am so incredibly pumped to guide you through Volume 2 of our journey today. We are diving deep into an explainer of a track that is literally a vivid spatial narrative wrapped up in this cold, cinematic music video vibe. Last time, we explored the East End, but today, we are taking it way down to the roots. We're heading into the north end of the Hammer, going on a steady, rhythmic walk right down James Street North all the way to the water. And just to be perfectly clear, when we say Steel City, we are still spelling it S-T-E-A-L. So let's just jump right in and unpack the history, the hustle, the blood, and the bricks. Right off the bat, the track hits us with this absolutely freezing cold open book. If you know, you know. And what's really brilliant about that lyric is how perfectly it sets up the entire overarching theme for our journey today. You see, this isn't some loud, boastful anthem. It's all about an unspoken street code. It is a sheer survival tactic where you absolutely have to keep your circle tight and your voice low. It's an exclusive club of understanding. You either see what's actually happening underneath the surface of the city or you don't. And the production just perfectly captures that vibe. It has this gritty, foggy aesthetic, which the lyrics describe as stepping right through the Hammer's veins. We're starting our story in a place where the old blood stays put, and the heavy steel hustle reigns supreme. This isn't just a casual stroll. It's a highly calculated walk through the shadows, where every single person is playing a specific part. To really understand the code, we are going to follow the steady beat straight down the route. Step 1, James North. Step 2, Pier 4 tracks. Step 3, the Mac. And Step 4, we wrap up at the Burlington Overpass. Okay, moving into Section 1, Roots and Gentrification. Subtitle, Old Blood versus New Paint. I just love how clearly the track lays out this contrast. On one hand, you have gentrification trying so hard to wash away the gray with brand new art shops and million-dollar views. But if you look closely, the old blood is still right there. The song paints this vivid picture of windows tinted deep, older players sitting in social clubs sipping espresso, just exchanging silent nods from the doorways. The neighborhood might look totally different to a tourist walking by, but make no mistake, the game is still arranged without a single word being spoken. Which brings us to this phenomenal lyric, sinners hiding right behind the saint. Despite that shiny new facade, the original underworld elements are completely intact. The deep survival tactics that built this part of Hamilton are still running strong out in the sea of the city. The saints, the trendy new coffee shops and art galleries, they're really just a convenient cover for a history that absolutely refuses to be erased. And this naturally leads us to what the track calls the real boardroom. Because in this neighborhood, real power operates entirely off the grid. If you know who actually owns the block, you know they don't need a fancy corporate boardroom. It's just heavy hitters talking in alleys. It's simple handshakes, far away from any cameras or digital eyes. True influence here is totally invisible to the outside world. All right, Section 2, Ghosts of Pier 4, the paved legend. As we head down toward the water and cross over the tracks where those massive freight trains rumble by, the track emphasizes a massive atmospheric shift. The lyrics say, "The cold wind off the lake hits heavy on the chest." You can literally feel the temperature drop in the song's production. The artist points out that this is the side of the city where the ghosts never rest, setting this incredible, chilling tone that connects the physical environment straight to the neighborhood's haunting history. And why are those ghosts so restless? Well, back in the day, that water's edge wasn't for leisure. It was a highly active drop spot for boxes coming right off the boats. It was a smuggler's absolute haven. Today, though, it's been paved over to create these nice, easy pathways for tourists. The physical landscape has been completely sanitized, but as the lyrics remind us, those old legends definitely stay afloat. And that creates a really fascinating ecosystem for the current street reality down at the pier. On any given day, you've got unmarked cruisers sitting idle by the bay. And, well, if you know they've just got a quota to hit for the day. Meanwhile, you've got these loud rookies out there running their mouths and drawing all kinds of attention. But the veterans, the real players, they are keeping the pace completely steady, silently moving weight from the north to the south, letting the novices make all the noise. Moving on to Section 3, the unspoken street code. Shifting past the Mac. Walking past the rusted-out gates of the Mac, the track reminds us that every single shadow holds a fate. Decades ago, this was exactly where bootleggers ran their routes through the night, setting up their family foundations in the pale moonlight. And today we see condos going up in this desperate attempt to block out all that historical grit. But think about it. $1 million view doesn't change it a bit. All those high-rises and luxury developments, they cannot erase the permanent reality beneath them. They can't change where the bodies really sleep, and they certainly cannot overwrite the deep, permanent loyalty that runs straight through Hamilton's core. To survive the 905, you've got to know exactly how to act. The track lays out the rules of the stroll so clearly. First, you keep it digitally erased. Absolutely nothing on the phones. Second, you walk with Teflon on the pavement, meaning nothing sticks to you. Your steps have to be perfectly paced, and you are constantly observing how the pieces are moving on the board. This is exactly why the walk is so quiet. As the artist says, when you know the code, you don't ever need to riot. You just watch and you calculate. I really want to highlight this specific, incredible anecdote from the track. Past the old bait shop, doors are locked up tight, but there's movement in the back if you're looking at it right. I mean, wow, that is the ultimate if you know moment. The narrator just lights another smoke, lets the ashes hit the street, and keeps walking. It's such a masterful way of showing, rather than just telling us, how active that hidden economy still is right under the surface. Section 4. The Beautiful Struggle. The Burlington Overpass. This is our final destination, and it is where heavy industry and the street hustle forcefully collide. The lyrics paint this stunning, industrial picture, shadows from the steel mills cutting through the glass. You've got smokestacks burning in the distance, keeping the horizon completely chill as the midnight shift workers walk down the hill. It's a cold, hard fact of life in this part of town, perfectly blending the working-class grind with the underworld hustle. All of this stormy, chaotic imagery captures the electric, enduring spirit of Steel City. Over a heavy bass line, the track just repeats this powerful mantra: concrete shoes, heavy steps, but we got iron hearts. It represents an unbreakable resilience. The people navigating the stroll are carrying the heavy history of blood and bricks, and they are surviving the storm through sheer iron will. And that leads us to the core realization of the whole track. In the city of the steel, you were never alone. That heavy history carved into the stones of the North End, it isn't just an individual struggle, it's a shared burden. It's a collective identity kept alive 24/7 by the people who know the code. You might be walking quietly, keeping your circle incredibly tight, but within that circle, you are part of a deeply rooted, shared legacy. Which leaves us with one final, provocative question. As the brand new paint inevitably tries to wash away the gray, will the deepest secrets of the 905 code survive the gentrification? Will the tradition stay alive, or will the saints eventually pave over the sinners for good? The artist says they left the deepest secrets out of the track on purpose, because you already know if you know. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep your circle tight, and I will catch you next time.